Right, more people in the videos. I'll definitely do that soon. One day, probably. Hey guys, so what is up over there in the Philippines and Australia? Well, anyway, so Halloween weekend. How was your Halloween? Halloween in New York City is crazy. I passed by this annual Halloween parade they were having down at 6th Avenue and it was insane. There were thousands of people there, all in costumes, and there was police everywhere trying to handle the traffic. It was so fun just walking around and seeing everyone in costume, and it was just really fun and unlike anything I've ever seen before. I mean, in the Philippines, we don't really celebrate Halloween. I mean, it's usually for kids in villages and you go around trick or treating to different houses, and maybe in some malls where they trick or treat into different stores. But then here, it's just for everyone, and everyone loves Halloween here. I am so excited for next year. So how is Halloween in Australia? I mean, I know Mario is helping out the trick or treating in La Vista, but I wonder how it is there in Australia. Is it as big as a deal as it here in New York, or is it more like the Philippines, or maybe it's even a lot bigger and more grand? I really have no idea at all. So I'm wondering, how did you spend your Halloween? Oh yeah, and 2 nights ago I met up with Migu and some of the Savians and Eakins here, and we went all the way to Migu's school, which is Fordham in the Bronx. And the Bronx was not to be racist or anything, but then I have heard a lot of stories about how dangerous it is in the Bronx and how you have to be really careful. But it was actually really nice, and the Fordham campus in the Bronx is really beautiful. They even have this church, and all the buildings are named after random Jesuit things, because Fordham is a Jesuit school, so you'll see things like the Loyola building, like the Mateo Ricci Circle and all of that, and it just really reminds me of how much I miss Xavier, and also about how I miss you guys. The reason why we were with Migo at the Bronx is that he invited us to a party there, and it was really interesting. I'm not gonna post any videos here from the party, but then it was fun, yeah. And in around 50 or so days, Mario, I'm going back to the Philippines, and I'm gonna meet up with you guys. While William, you're coming back near the end of the month, so that'll be really exciting. And I'm excited for Christmas and to be able to see you guys again. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll see you guys next week. I didn't really wear a costume or anything because I'm lame. But for next year, I'm gonna think of something to wear and it'll be really fun.